Dude, I have shit in public so many times. I've had the most public shit imaginable.
Where?
You want to? This is a horrible story. I've never told in public. This is one of these stories. I've got this idea to monetize my podcast, tangentially speaking.
Yes.
And one of the ideas is that I'll tell these crazy fucking stories, and you can pay 99 cents for them, as
Sure.
opposed to the interviews.
Yeah.
So this is one of the stories. I was in a place called Pushkar, India, a long time ago. This is like 89 or something.
Yes.
88. Pushkar is the second holiest place in the Hindu world.
Why?
After Varanasi. Because apparently Krishna was walking through the desert and he saw something, I don't remember what it was, a girl who'd been raped or someone dying or something terrible, made him cry. His teardrop dropped in the desert and it formed this perfectly round, beautiful lake, Pushkar Lake. And I came to this place in India. I was hating India. I'd been there a couple months. I'd been up to Kashmir. I'd had all these adventures and stuff. But I was like, I hated it. It was overwhelming for me. All the people everywhere and the sensory overload just blew my mind. And I got to Pushkar, and because it's a holy place, no internal combustion engines are allowed in the village. The village is beautiful. It's built all around this lake. They have what they call ghats, which are like steps leading down into the water. Every night at sunset, the holy men lead their followers to the water's edge. They have these lanterns on chains swinging, and they wash their faces in the holy waters of the Pushkar Lake. And there's no meat in the town at all, so it's all vegetarian.
Wow.
And they have bhang. You know what bhang
marijuana.
is? Yeah, it's like a marijuana tofu preparation.
Yes.
And they put it into lassis, so you can get these bhang lassis.
Yes.
And it's like the best marijuana brownie you've ever had. You're it's so subtle, but you're just pleasantly stoned for like 5 hours.
Sure.
It's fantastic. So when I got to this place, I was like, fuck it, I'm not leaving. I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
So there's this place called the Pushkar Palace Hotel, which had been the Maharaja's palace for years. It's all whitewashed, pale. It's kind of like Greek, with bougainvillea growing, walls around it, and beautiful courtyards and all that. And, rooms were like, $2 a night or something.
Oh, India is so great.
India. Or you could stay in the dorm room, for 50 cents.
Yeah.
But I, pushed it a little further, and this is desert, okay? This is like really desert. And it's like 3 stories, and then there was a water tower. And you could climb up this ladder, and you're up on top of the water tower, and it's like a 3 meter by 3 meter square with a little wall about half a meter high.
Yes.
And so I said, can I just sleep up on the roof? And they're like, yeah, 25 cents a night. Okay, 25 cents a night. And I've got the best spot in this fucking town, right?
Wow.
I swear, the first night I slept there, I was lying there. There's so many stars because they turn off all the electricity at 10 o'clock. So so it's just dark except for fires around in the desert. You'll see like someone out in the desert they have a camel festival there every year. This was before or after the festival, I don't remember. But anyway, so I was there and I was lying on this rooftop. It's completely dark. Stars like everywhere, fucking stars, man. Like shooting star, boom, shooting star, boom, shooting star. I saw 2 shooting stars cross in the sky.
Wow.
Like who sees that, Amazing place, just incredible place. So I stayed up there for a long time. And every night...
How long?
Well, I was there about 3 weeks until this story I'm about to... this thing happened. And then I left and went to Jaisalmer and did some other stuff. And then I went back for New Year's. And
3 weeks sleeping on top of a water tower.
Yeah, it never rains, And so I met this Australian guy who's still one of my best buddies, Sean, and he really knew how to travel. I didn't. I had flown there directly from Manhattan. I got a one-way ticket from Manhattan to New Delhi, and I'd packed like 70 pounds in my backpack. I had a tent and a sleeping bag, and all water filters and all this shit. And Sean was cruising around with a shoulder bag.
Wow.
He knew what he was doing. Anyway, so so one night, it's India. Your stomach gets messed up. So one night I'm lying up there. And I felt kind of queasy. I woke up, and it's like, oh, shit. You get that feeling where you're like, I'm going to puke in 20 seconds?
Yes.
So I don't want to puke on my little square area here. right? And on 3 sides, there are rooftops of the other floors. But on the 4th side, it goes all the way down to the cafe breakfast area where there are like tables set up for breakfast in the morning, and there's a table with a juicer and all this. And there's a sidewalk, but between the sidewalk and the wall is a strip of grass about half a meter wide.
Okay.
And there's no wind, it's completely dark. So I lean out over this wall and just let it go, you know? And it goes straight down, straight down. And, you know, I was sound asleep when this happened. So then I went back to sleep and forgot all about it. So I got up in the morning, went down for breakfast, and I was waiting in line at the juicing machine, and I looked, and there was this tiny little puddle of completely dried up vomit giblets because it's desert, dried up overnight.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was reminded of Ernest Hemingway's line that courage is grace under pressure.
I know, you like targeted a puke.
I was like, you know, hey, I had little time to think. I was in a tight spot. I executed. I conceived. I executed. I'm a fucking pro traveler. I am a cool dude, right?
Yes.
So, okay, a week later, I'm up there, same thing, sound asleep. Wake up in the middle of the night. In 20 seconds, you're going to shit. Right? So I've been here before, right? So all the lights are off, everything's cool, there's no wind. So I lean my ass out over this wall and I let it go. It's like I did the test run, man. So I let it go and I like wipe my ass off. I fall back asleep, forget about it. Okay? Now I should tell you the hotel was owned by a British countess who was married to an Indian guy, some upper class Indian guy. And for some reason, she liked me and Sean. I don't know, we're intellectuals or something. Right. She liked chatting with us because we were sophisticated or whatever. So we used to have breakfast with her. So the next morning I get up, I go down, and her 2 cousins had arrived from England. So they're at this table, and I sit down. And she said, "Oh, Chris, this is my cousin, da-da-da. No, would you like some juice?" And we're talking, and I sort of look up, and my shit is running down this white wall, 4-story wall, all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom. Just shit. And everybody knew, like, I was the guy who lived up there because they'd seen me up there watching the sunsets and so cool. Like, oh, that guy's up on the water tower. He's cool. Yeah. Oh my God!
So what did you do? Did you fess up?
Well, no, I tried. So I'm like stunned, right? I was like, it was like you get the call like Los Angeles is gone. There's been a meteor.
Yes.
It was like, so I just like got up and I walked to the room where Sean was sleeping. Yes. And I woke him up. I said, "Sean, you're not going to believe this, man." And what? Like, oh man, I shit down the wall. And like, he's what? And he jumps up and he runs out and he's laughing his ass off. So of course that, no. So then,
I shit down the wall
of the palace. Sean, wake up!
I've done it.
I've done it this time. So then I'm walking. I go to the shower, the shower bathroom area, and there's this little tunnel. And like the groundskeeper was named Surendra, beautiful Indian name. So and he like confronts me in this tunnel, and he says, "Yudristre," and I said, "What? Yudristre? I'm sorry, Surendra, I don't understand. Yudristre." And then finally somebody, because now we're blocking traffic through the tunnel, and somebody says, "He's asking if you have dysentery." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, that was a monkey."
Great. Great save.
I said they were monkeys.
Were there monkeys in the desert?
There are lots of monkeys in Pushkar, but none of them up on my tower. Yeah. And so the Indian people were like, "Come on, dude. No monkeys." There's no monkey. So I have shit in public.
Wow. That is the most glorious story of shitting in public. There's so many shitting in public stories you hear. Many of them are like when someone talks about a dream. You don't really care. It's like whatever. But that is like a world record.
That was pretty dramatic.
Shitting in public story.
Like 4 months later, I went to Kathmandu. And I was looking for Sean's sister, who I'd never met. But he told me she's in Kathmandu. Look her up. So I get to Kathmandu. I go to this guest house. And I go to the room where she's supposed to be, and it turns out it's like 15 Australians, like hanging out, getting drunk and high and partying, right? And I come in and I'm like, yeah, is Diana, is she around here somewhere? And like, who are you? I'm Sean's friend. We met in India. And they're like, are you the guy who shot down the wall?